Harley-Davidson and Indian motorcycle have a combined history of over 245 years. They survived world wars, depressions, and near bankruptcies. But in 2025, both face unprecedented pressure. Harley's revenue dropped from $5.84 billion to $4.47 billion in just 2 years. Indian was sold to private equity. The brands causing disruption aren't European or Japanese. They're from India and China, selling impressive motorcycles for a third of what American bikes cost. The cheapest Royal Enfield cruiser costs less than half the cheapest Harley or Indian. So what happened? And can these legendary brands fight back? The American Foundation. Before we talk about the challengers, understand what makes American motorcycles special, because neither company is disappearing. Harley-Davidson's Milwaukee factory, 123 years old, commands 74.5% of the U.S. touring segment, with over 1 million HOG members worldwide. Their Street Glide and Road Glide remain unmatched in long-haul touring. Indian achieved #1 in midsize cruisers after Polaris revived the brand in 2011. The 2025 Scout lineup's 1250cc V-twin making 111 horsepower has been a genuine hit. Retail sales were up low double digits in Q2 2025, while the broader market was down mid-teens. With $478 million in revenue, over 600 dealers, and 110,000 Scout units sold since 2015, that's real traction. Both brands can innovate. Harley's Pan America became the #1 adventure touring motorcycle in North America in 2021. Indian's 101 Scout showed 93% of buyers were new to the brand. Harley's CEO Artie Starrs is restructuring, building up $3.1 billion in cash. North American retail sales rose 5% in Q4 2025. Both American brands have real strengths. But while these premium brands protected their positions, competitors figured out how to build genuinely good motorcycles for a fraction of the price. The gap between cheap and good has collapsed. Royal Enfield, the heritage challenger. Royal Enfield, around since 1901, built charming but rough air-cooled singles for decades. Nobody in America took them seriously. That changed completely. In fiscal 2025, Royal Enfield sold 1 million motorcycles. Harley sold 132,500. Royal Enfield moved 7 times that volume. Calendar 2025 sales hit 1.18 million units, up 26.7%. Revenue, $2.2 billion with $555 million net profit. In 2012, they sold 113,000. That's 10-fold growth in 13 years. Royal Enfield operates 152 U.S. dealerships across 48 states. Headquarters in Milwaukee, Harley's backyard. Their 650 twins were Britain's best-selling motorcycles in 2020 and 2021 period. U.S. sales grew 11.6% in 2024. Stores feel like lifestyle boutiques, pulling in riders who'd never step into a traditional shop. Now the prices. Super Meteor 650 Cruiser, $6,999. Cheapest Harley Nightster and Indian Scout 60, both $9,999. Harley Sportster S, $15,999. Indian Scout Bobber, $12,999. Harley Street Glide, $25,999. Indian Chieftain, $27,000. Continental GT 650, $6,349. Himalayan 450, $5,799 versus Harley's Pan America at $19,999. Hunter 350, $4,399. Buy a Super Meteor 650 and Himalayan 450, 2 completely different motorcycles, for less than a single Harley Sportster S. That math changes loyalty fast. Quality gap narrowed dramatically. J.D. Power's 2025 India study ranked Royal Enfield highest, with 20% fewer problems than average. Their Sherpa 452 platform features DOHC, ride-by-wire, slipper clutch, and 40 horsepower, weighing less than Harley's Milwaukee 8 or Indian's Power Plus. Pipeline is aggressive. Himalayan 750 and Continental GT 750 expected in 2026, plus Flying Flea Electrics. 6 assembly plants outside India produce bikes closer to markets, reducing costs. It's the Japanese playbook from the 1980s. Average Royal Enfield buyer in India is 27. In Western markets, they attract new riders wanting affordability, experienced riders seeking a second bike, and minimalists preferring simplicity. Harley's financed buyer age, 44 to 45, though UBS analyst Robin Farley argues cash buyers push it to the late 50s. That age gap represents a generational divide widening every year. But Royal Enfield is not the only challenger circling, and this next one might be the most surprising of all. CF Moto and Hero, the disruptors. 10 years ago, nobody would believe a Chinese brand would sell KTM-powered adventure bikes in all 50 US states. CF Moto is doing exactly that. CF Moto hit 250,000 global sales in 2025, 48% North American growth, operating over 300 US dealerships. Secret weapon, KTM partnership since 2014. Their Hangzhou factory manufactures KTM's entire 799cc parallel twin range. They use that engine in their Ibex 800 ADV at $10,299 versus KTM 890 Adventure at $13,499 and Harley's Pan America at $19,999. Standard equipment includes heated grips, adjustable suspension, TFT display, cornering ABS, and quick shifter. Their 450 platform, SS Sport Bike at $5,699 with Brembo brakes. CLC Cruiser at $5,399, one-third of Nightster or Scout 60. Ibex 450 at $6,499 undercuts Yamaha Tenere 700 by $4,000. In 2023, Yamaha chose CF Moto as their Chinese manufacturing partner. Hero Motocorp, Earth's largest manufacturer at 5.9 million units in 2025, has an active Harley partnership. After Harley exited India in 2020, Hero stepped in. The Harley-Davidson X 440, priced $2,800 to $3,350, is the most affordable Harley anywhere. Hero operates 7 global plants with 7.6 million annual capacity, entering Germany, France, Spain, and UK in 2025. When the world's largest motorcycle company is your manufacturing partner, they're learning your playbook daily. The demographic crisis. The motorcycle industry has a brutal demographic problem. In 1985, median US owner was 27. Today, it's 50. Ownership under 18 collapsed from 8% to 2%. Ages 18 to 24 dropped from 16% to 6%. Boomers outnumber millennials 4 to 1. Boomers who bought Harleys and Indians in the 1990s and 2000s are now in their 60s and 70s, hanging up helmets and selling bikes. The generation behind them isn't replacing them at the same rate. Younger riders think differently. Hagerty shows 78% of millennial insurance quotes are for bikes under $10,000. They research on YouTube. Fortnite, 2.3 million subscribers. Revzilla, 1.5 million. More influential than any showroom. This generation watches reviews, reads Reddit comments, and compares insurance before visiting dealerships. Brand mystique fails when customers access independent reviews comparing a $7,000 Royal Enfield against a $13,000 Indian Scout and concluding the cheaper bike is more fun. UBS analyst Robin Farley found younger buyers see motorcycles as transportation, not hobby or identity. Cultural institutions are evolving. The Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, drawing 100,000-plus riders annually across 650 cities in 115 countries, centers on cafe racers and scramblers, partnering with Triumph. Royal Enfield's Build Train race puts all female teams on 650 twins at Moto America. Women now represent 19% of U.S. owners, up from 8% in 1998. Among millennials, 26% are women. Online sentiment is shifting. Experienced riders describe being sneered at for riding lesser bikes. Younger riders describe traditional biker culture as unwelcoming. The motorcycle as identity model now pushes away market segments. If you're finding this fascinating, hit subscribe. CFRA analyst Garrett Nelson in February 2026. Despite efforts to appeal to younger riders, the company has not stemmed the decline. Harley's retail sales fell from 260,000 in 2006 to 132,500 in 2025, a 49% decline. Polaris sold Indian entirely. The cost of ownership gap. The price gap doesn't stop at the sticker. Harley Nightster or Indian Scout 60 over 5 years, $21,000 to $26,000. Purchase price plus insurance at $600 to $1,000 yearly. American Cruisers are among the most stolen plus dealer maintenance at $800 to $1,500 annually. Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650 over 5 years, $12,400 to $15,450. Insurance, $300 to $600 yearly. Maintenance, $300 to $600 annually. That's $10,000 difference. For riders with student debt and housing costs, that math decides. Monthly insurance. American Cruisers $50 to $80. Royal Enfield $25 to $50. When you're justifying a motorcycle to your partner or bank account, that monthly difference matters more than any badge. Used market compounds the problem. Prices peaked during 2021 to 2022 COVID and collapsed. Domestic cruisers crashed 13% between April and June 2025. Some categories saw 40% depreciation in 2 years. Buyers see a new Street Bob for $16,999. Find a 2023 with 3,000 miles for $11,000. Harley dropped from number 1 to number 3 behind Honda and Kawasaki. The 601 to 900cc adventure class grew 13.1%, while the over 900cc class declined 16.4%. Global adventure market, $15.2 billion, projected $25 billion by 2034. Segments where American brands are strongest are shrinking. Segments where Royal Enfield and CF Moto compete are growing double digits. That's structural shift. The American response. What are these legendary brands doing? This is where the story gets hopeful. Harley's biggest move, the Sprint, expected spring 2026 at under $6,000 MSRP. Named after the iconic 1961 to 1974 Aermacchi model, it would be the most affordable Harley in modern history. The original became one of Harley's best sellers. CEO Artie Starrs reorganized the executive team. Analysts expect a strategic plan by May 2026. Wall Street treats 2026 as transition with operating income near break-even. That's hitting reset on purpose, backed by $3.1 billion in cash. Indian is transforming. October 2025, Polaris announced selling its majority stake to Carplewood LP, a Los Angeles private equity firm. Expected Q1 2026. This makes Indian standalone for the first time since 2011. New CEO Mike Kennedy, a 30-year industry veteran with experience at RumbleOn, Vance & Hines, and Harley-Davidson. Indian retains 900-plus employees, its facilities, design center, and 600-plus dealer network. Some loyalists are nervous about private equity, but independence could be good. Under Polaris, Indian competed for resources with off-road vehicles and snowmobiles. Standalone, every dollar goes to motorcycles. The 2025 Scout, redesigned with 1250cc speed plus V-twin, has been the strongest launch. Scout 60 at $9,999 is an entry point, with 93% of buyers new to the brand. Harley has $3.1 billion in cash. They're restructuring, not failing. Harley's Hero partnership puts the badge on a $3,000 motorcycle in India, introducing the brand to millions who might trade up later. The real question: can the Sprint at under $6,000 and standalone Indian do for American motorcycles what budget brands already did? If American manufacturers deliver great riding experiences at accessible prices without diluting heritage, they could bridge the gap. But if products feel like stripped compromises, riders will see through it. The bar's been set high. The verdict? American brands aren't dying. Harley commands 74.5% of touring, has 1 million plus hog members, and sits on $3.1 billion. Indian achieved #1 in mid-size cruisers, redesigned its Scout, and enters independence with dedicated leadership. Both build motorcycles no budget competitor can replicate at the top end. But competition leveled up. Royal Enfield delivers genuine cruiser experience at $6,999, backed by warranty, US dealers, and UK engineering. CF Moto offers KTM-derived adventure bikes at half American prices. Middleweight segment booms while heavyweights decline. YouTube democratized knowledge, eroding brand mystique. And a generation with student debt won't pay $15,000 to $45,000 when $5,000 to $7,000 buys something excellent. The question isn't survival, it's growth. Can they grow, or will demographics, pricing, and cultural change compress them into smaller, premium, niche companies? Budget brands aren't nipping at heels. They're redefining what motorcycles should cost, who should ride them, and what the experience should feel like. Walk into a Royal Enfield dealership. 22-year-olds buying first bikes next to 55-year-olds picking up weekend cruisers. Walk into CF Moto. Adventure riders who did the math and chose to spend on the trip, not the bike. That's not a threat to motorcycling. That's the future. More people on two wheels is good. Competition makes everyone better. Cheaper bikes bring new riders. And if Harley and Indian rise to this challenge, we all win. Because a 22-year-old on a $5,000 Royal Enfield Hunter and a 55-year-old on a $30,000 Road Glide still wave at stoplights. That's what motorcycling has always been about. Now tell me what you think on the top motorcycles costing under $5,000 in the comments. And if this reveal impressed you, get a sneak peek at the 9 proven secrets, which will help you last your motorcycles forever popped up on the upper left of your screen.